And vacation over, as we headed home to our regular beds, our daily lives of school and homework and ordinary things. Maybe my little brother, maybe I, would wake up and look out the window at the night sky, and suddenly it would fill with stars and golden mist. And we'd pretend for a second we were somehow deep inside the Milky Way. A million winking lights. But we knew where we really were. We were almost home.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
O enchanted land of my childhood. A cultural petri dish from which regularly issues forth greatness. New Jersey, in case you didn't know it, has got beaches. Beautiful beaches. And they're not all crawling with roid-raging trolls with reality shows. I grew up summering on those beaches, and they are awesome. Jersey's got farmland. Beautiful bedroom communities where that woman from Real Housewives who looks like Dr. Zayas does not live, nor anyone like her. Even the refineries. The endless clover leaves of turnpikes and expressways twisting in unknowable patterns over the wetlands are to me somehow beautiful. To know Jersey is to love her. Fort Lee. You may have heard of it. Some of Governor Christie's minions allegedly conspired to jam up traffic for a few days. It's a town with a jokey history of corruption. It's also where my beloved Hiram's is. Open since 1932 and pretty much unchanged ever since, my dad started bringing me and my younger brother Chris here in the 50s, and they still honor tradition.
3 chili cheese sauce.
My happy place. Sometimes I just need that old-time flavor, you know. Well, as soon as I could chew food, basically my dad would take me here. It is a great point of pride and personal satisfaction, and I've convinced my daughter that these are the finest hot dogs in the land. She gets very excited to come out here, which makes me very happy. Thank you. Thank you. Now this is key. These toothpicks, just like 1958. Some things just shouldn't change. My dad used to love piccalilli, red relish. I love this stuff. Look at that beauty. Oh, yeah. I come here to feed my soul, the cultural wellspring that is New Jersey. It's the antidote to every other place. This place is perfect. The dogs are amazing. There are not a lot of people in this world like courageous enough to not change. Down the shore. Yeah, we actually talked like that. It was what we did. Go down the shore. Not just our family from Bergen County near the bridge, but middle-class and working-class families from Philly and all over who'd pack up the kids in the station wagon for the seemingly interminable trip to Long Beach Island. Just getting out of the driveway was a big deal.
Plus, it always took 3 extra hours just to load the damn cars.
There was always drama.
Strapping crap to the roof of the car.
Where once we were over the Manahawkin Bridge, the excitement would ratchet up. Ship Bottom, then Surf City, Harvey Cedars, Love Ladies, ticking off the town names until finally, Barnegat Light.
New. These are all new. I mean, look, that's original.
Yeah, definitely.
In fact, I think I know who lived there at one point.
And that's definitely old school.
But look, let's face it, it's been how many years? I mean, like 40.
There's a 400, I think.
Jesus, we're old. And the lighthouse.
Definitely remember going to that lighthouse a lot of times.
Oh, the good old days. I want some fried clam strips.
Absolutely.
Well, our options are limited, shall we say, but holy crap, this place is filling up.
I think it's because it's the only place.
Yeah, but still, who lives out here year-round?
We're about to see every single one of them.
Let's be honest, when we'd come here in the summers, I was the bad one.
Your recollection is correct.
I was up to every variety of criminal, antisocial behavior down here. I didn't smoke dope for the first time here. I was looking for dope, but as a 12-year-old, it was hard to come by.
I think I vaguely remember you walking off with some kind of cute girl.
First kiss, that was an important passage. Oh, it's good.
This is good.
I realize now that I hitchhiked regularly.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, you know, I want to go down to Ship Bottom tonight, you know, with some friends. How you getting there? Well, hitchhike down. Okay, have fun.
That was cool. All the kids were hitching here. That's how you got places here.
Summertime. You know that sound? Just out of the water, ears pressed up against the beach blanket, the squeak of bare feet on sand nearby. Classics Illustrated comics waiting for me back at the house. I'd play with my little plastic army man in the dunes.
There's a smell of beach grass in the dunes. You know, can you remember it?
I still crave it. I love it.
And on special occasions, clams and drawn butter. No matter where I find them now, they always bring me back here. I remember this place with nothing but fondness. I mean, I can't remember a single bad memory here.
It was great. People you knew from last year were here. You'd roll out onto the street. Your parents didn't need to be with you. Have a campfire on the beach at night. You'd set off firecrackers, all this stuff they wouldn't let you do at home.
The beach would look different. For a couple of days, the whole beach would be like this weird foamy surf, like these giant, like frothy bubbles. Oh, yeah. Here, now we're talking. Thank you.
Yeah, or there would be the jellyfish delivery sometimes, where there'd be like millions of them all over the place.
Infestation of jellyfish, right. I try to block that out.
That wonderful feeling of, you know, you were with other 10-year-olds alone at night, you know, on the beach. It was great.
Love clam strips.
These are great.
This is awesome. So far, so great. I'm happy. Properly battered piece of fish, some good tartar sauce. What were your favorite activities?
Building a fire on the beach.
Right. Overturning the lifeguard stand.
Yes, had to go.
They were representatives of the man.
Firecrackers on the beach.
Firecrackers on the beach.
I have some firecrackers in your car, by the way. Just saying.
Set them off in the elevator at the casino.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
It was paradise. America's first dream vacation. The beach, as far as America was concerned, meaning bathing suits and swimming in the surf, was pretty much invented here. Atlantic City. Rich or working class, it was here for you. Back then, you dressed up to walk the boardwalk. It was capitalism at its purest and most assertive. It was a democratic dream, designed from the beginning for everybody. Flashy, utilitarian, upright, deeply, unapologetically corrupt. The knife and fork inn was right there through it all. In many ways, its story a perfect reflection of changing times. Established in 1912 as a so-called gentlemen's dining and drinking club, the second floor originally had curtained alcoves and a separate ladies' lounge. Private rooms on the third and fourth floor were set aside for games of chance and perhaps other activities. Vicky Gold Levy's dad was the chief photographer for Atlantic City from the 1930s through the 1960s. He saw it all, and by extension, so did Vicky.
What was it like here as a kid?
It was fantastic. Walking down the boardwalk in the summertime was like walking in a carnival in a midway. The cacophony of noises.
There were still remnants of the 20s.
Yeah.
That sensibility, that look, handlebar mustaches, Victorian graphic design and illustration, a weird stuck-in-time feel was still very much in evidence, even in my time here in the early 60s. The boardwalk was over 6 miles of amusements, entertainments, parades, and pageants, a never-ending carnival.
Every place you went down the boardwalk was something else to see. And all the stores were like mom and pop stores. They were all very unique.
Yes.
And I love that.
The world-famous Steel Pier, amusement arcades, Barkers, novelties, saltwater taffy.
I loved the joke shops.
The joke shops.
It was a wonderland of juvenile delinquency because I got to go in and buy, plastic dog crap and plastic vomit and smoke powder, and it was just something very sinister and forbidden. And my parents indulged me when I was here.
The menu has changed somewhat since the original. For me, a very tasty pretzel-crusted swordfish over lump crab meat. For Vicky, pan-seared scallops.
My memories of Atlantic City are largely built around the time before gambling. Times were not good. I mean, the Marlboro Blenheim, I remember it well, was largely empty, but it was a magnificent structure.
I mean, you and I like the nostalgia. And people who like Coney Island like it, but I don't know about the young people.
Beautiful buildings are beautiful buildings. A beautiful view is beautiful view forever.
Yes.
There's no place with this kind of history and legitimacy. This place has deep, romantic allure.
I agree with you. I believe in the transition that's coming. I really, really do, with all my heart.
The kinds of businesses you talk about that used to be here, it's not a matter of, gee, it would be really great if that kind of thing happened again. It is inevitable that that will happen again. And it's worth fixing. Atlantic City could be chic, easily, because the bones, the skeleton of this city are beautiful.
I'm glad you feel that way.
There is, even in very young people, particularly now, beautiful old things. A beautiful old restaurant with really great food, for instance.
Reading it right now?
Is much more interesting than a glass box with good food.
The names of Atlantic City streets were imprinted on generations of Americans who grew up playing Monopoly. Drive down Ventnor Avenue today and you see history. The ebb and flow of America's hopes and dreams played out in the buildings and homes you see as you pass by. Magnificent mansions mixed in with inexpensive two-family houses, cheap takeout, the footprints of a lost world. The Riviera of the Northeast, still there if you look between. With jet travel in Miami and an expanded highway system, things decline, as they do. But a few visionary geniuses presented a solution. A cure that would overnight make everybody well, make Atlantic City shiny and new and prosperous again. Men like Donald Trump.
I think it's going to be really very beneficial to everybody. We look forward to operating the Taj Mahal successfully for many years to come.
Vast new Xanadus would be constructed, and would-be Kublai Khans rushed to Atlantic City, eager to tap into what was assured would be a never-ending gusher of prosperity. Casino gambling.
When casino gambling was sold to the state of New Jersey, to Atlantic City, as the cure-all, who was going to bring it back to its glory days, did that ever happen?
When you drove around today, do you think this place is better than it was then? Do you think it helped?
No, I don't.
New Jersey native Brian Donahue is a reporter with 20 years' experience focusing on South Jersey. Doc's Oyster House, an establishment that survived Prohibition, the Great Depression, 2 world wars, numerous declines and rebirths. Still here, still great, a symbol of what Atlantic City was and should be again, could be again.
To bring a city back after its decline is a really complicated, hard process, and they wanted easy answers, and casino gambling was seen as an easy answer.
Yes, it sure sounded like a good idea.
They were going to just plan in effect 12 casinos here and bring everybody up from the top down. It hasn't worked. Now, when you're left with just 12 casinos.
And if you're looking for an example of lemming-like lurch towards a shiny new cliff face from which to tumble, look no further than this $2.4 billion goat rodeo, the Revel. It opened in 2012 and closed less than 2 years later. The most expensive casino in New Jersey history.
They just forged ahead with it. The hubris was incredible.
What were they thinking?
Short-term money. And at a time when all these other casinos are opening all over the entire East Coast.
Which is nuts. It's economics 101.
Casinos, of course, by design, neglect the city's existing assets. Salt air, a walk by the glorious North Atlantic, the greatest of all the Earth's bodies of water, the classic attractions, the restaurants.
This is what it's going to take for Atlantic City to come back. It's going to be on places like this. Celebrate the ghosts, you know?
Some nice crab cakes at docks, a big freaking lobster stuffed with crab imperial, pomme souffle. Those things are bad for business. The business of taking your money.
Yes, thank you so much. Lovely. That'll work. That is good. I don't want to sound like I'm down on Atlantic City because I see it as an incredibly, almost ludicrously hopeful place. So whatever left of it should be, to my mind, hung on to because they're going to come around.
There's nothing funny about losing all your money. Yet casinos are steady employers of that most hard-working species of entertainer. Comedians Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane are two of the hardest-working people around, married to each other and New Jersey.
It's so much money to live here. I drove 3 exits on the Jersey Turnpike. It was $7. So if you drive the whole New Jersey Turnpike, when you get to the end, you have to give them your car.
I'm gonna tell you guys something that I don't generally tell people right away. I'm a vegan. I'm very passionate about it. It's all about eating a cruelty-free lifestyle. No animal byproduct of any kind. I do cheat a little. I eat veal. So good, so tender. How do they get it like that?
I'm very sentimental about Jersey Italian, particularly spaghetti and meatballs. That's what I was going to go for.
I've eaten here at least 5 to 10 times, and I've never had a bad meal, ever.
Okay, I know what exactly.
I wouldn't
what
get
I'm
the meatballs.
Proud longtime residents of New Jersey?
No. I've lived here 9 years, but only been proud maybe the last 2. It took me a long time to sort of...
Get up to speed?
Yeah.
Born and bred.
Yes, my whole life.
He won't leave. I had to make peace with it.
When's the first time you played Atlantic City?
There was a club at the Sands. Many times I would get paid on Thursday, and I would lose it all. And then I'd have to work for free. There's no worse feeling.
Oh, I know that feeling.
It's a nightmare. You ever watch a couple in Atlantic City? Okay, dear, hold this money. Don't give it back to me no matter what I tell you. I don't care what I say. An hour later, give me my goddamn money. No, I'm not fooling around. You're lucky I even brought you here, bitch. You better give me my money. You're the reason I'm losing, touching my arm when I'm shooting craps.
Is there a specifically Jersey sense of humor
Yes.
that you've noticed?
I love Jersey audiences now so much because I've never one time ever said anything where people in the audience have gone, oh, they never get offended.
We all have our words, you know, that we don't like, the ones that affect us the most. I have my trigger words. As a white woman, the word I don't like is no. I don't hear it that often, but when I do,
Here's the deal with Jersey. People land at Newark, and they drive up the turnpike. They don't turn off and go up into the night.
They see the refineries.
They think that's New Jersey.
See, how sick is it that I think that's beautiful?
More horses per capita than any other state.
Northern New Jersey is the embroidery capital of the world.
Yeah.
Apparently. I don't know where that's happening.
My ex-wife works for an embroidery company.
No.
I swear to God. I'll call her right now.
This is a taste of my youth. For all of the marvelous things about New Jersey, will people ever come across the bridge and the tunnel in the other direction?
No.
No, okay.
I did not have to think about that.
Let's go out to club in Jersey. No.
No, but you know what?
So-
It's all relative. A 25-year-old guy or girl is going, we're not going to Jersey. A 60-year-old person is going, I'm getting out of the city and I'm
There's your
moving to
answer.
Jersey.
There's your answer.
Well,
It's never
but
going to be you.
You know what? Where does hitness stop? At what age?
Hypness is overrated.
Yeah, it is overrated. You know what? I love living here. I love it. Pine Valley, the best golf course in the country. Trump has beautiful course
Oh, wait a
here.
minute. Trump. I'm not a fan.
Who is?
Every minute that he walks here, it demands a certain complicity to not shout out. We look at that ridiculous looking head. It's like if you have a disfigurement, that sort of tacit agreement that I'm just not going to bring it up. That's too much to ask of me in Trump's case. I want to scream.
Do you know why he puts his names on the building? So the banks know which ones to take back, okay? At least he's a humble guy. Jesus.
There are few American cities, places where things have gone as disastrously wrong as Camden, New Jersey. It's like the poster child for everything a city could screw up. Once a manufacturing powerhouse, home to the New York Shipbuilding Corporation, the Campbell's Soup Company, and RCA Victor Records. A company town. About 80,000 people live here today. That's the same number of people who were employed during its heyday. Nearly 40% of the city's high school students don't graduate. The entire police force replaced by the state. More than 1/3 of city residents live below the poverty line. Voter turnout, not good. If there's any place one could be forgiven for just throwing your hands up in the air and giving up, it's here. But no. Cities with serious problems need extraordinary people. And Tawanda Jones is clearly an extraordinary person.
When you give, especially to someone who is really in need, you know, I feel, it makes me feel complete.
Her late grandfather, Walter Green Jr., was a former military man, an employee of RCA, and a bodyguard for the great boxer, Jersey Joe Walcott.
He was just like the protector. You know, if you need anything, you go to Mr. Dynamite. That was his nickname.
He was also a man who believed in being part of the community. When Tawanda was 15, she was asked to lead a local drill team. Unfortunately, it soon lost its funding. Walter purchased 80 uniforms and 3 drums to give them a start.
Move! Our demons fed not that we're inadequate. Our demons fed that we're powerful beyond measure.
Today, CSS, the Camden Sophisticated Sisters drill team, which includes the Distinguished Brothers and TAPS, the almighty percussion sound, have over 320 participants.
Good job, babies. Good job. Clap it up for yourself. Clap it up. Clap it up.
We meet at neighborhood stalwart Tony and Ruth Stakes, still doing what they do.
It doesn't get any better than this.
What was Camden like back in the good old days?
Oh my God. It was so different coming up when I was younger. I didn't have to worry about, you know, my life being threatened coming outside, you know. The neighborhood, everyone knew everybody. That sense of community was strong back then.
You're talking about your childhood as if it was a real long time ago. It's not that long ago.
All right.
What the hell went wrong?
People can blame it on the politics, but I think that's just too easy. Many have failed our children, but it's up to the parents to really start getting more involved in the kids' education. You know what your child is doing.
So you're putting it principally on the parents?
Absolutely.
This is tasty.
Those are delicious.
So the conventional wisdom seemed to be, it's time to get out of Camden. Why are you still here?
Because the need is in Camden. If every decent person in Camden leaves Camden, then we never have a chance. In order to be a part of the program, they have to maintain a C average or better.
Right.
It's all about their academics. It's all about nurturing these kids. What's right, what's wrong, you know? The drill team does that. They have different sayings that they go by every day. It's a start without a finish. It is possible.
It is never impossible. If I can believe that I can achieve, it's possible, it's possible, it's possible.
And they believe this. You know, they say it so much until it's embedded.
Tawanda has helped CSS support itself with financial assistance from fellow parents and some fundraising, temporary help and donations from small businesses. But surprisingly for a group with a national profile, no lasting support from official organizations or national institutions, public or private. Yet, she perseveres.
A lot of your practices are done outdoors.
Right.
All-weather type of a situation.
Yes, we've been under bridges, everything. Over 28 years, we've been outside. Their safety is the most important to me, you know, but it's been a blessing and a curse because you'll have the corner boys come up to you and ask you, Miss Wawa, are you having practice outside today? And I'll say, yeah, and they're like, today's not a good day. And I'm like, okay, all right, thank you very much.
That's nice.
You know, right, you know, and I appreciate it, trust me.
How do you keep these kids off the corner?
I'm quite aware that times are hard, but I just tried to show them an alternative route, saying that there's so much more out there than this. Some of them call me Major Pain, but it's all out of love. You know, they need that structure and discipline in life, period. To go to work, to go to school.
They're doing it because it's fun?
Right.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
You're asking people to do a hard thing, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask, I'm gonna guess that in the years that you've been doing this, you had to have had your heart broken many times. You had to have seen kids who you really believed in fall by the wayside. And I'm guessing a lot. How do you go on?
We do have a lot of sad stories, but we have more good. Our good outweighs the bad, you know? And I keep going just for that reason. You know, before I was a little hard on myself, and I used to actually think that I could save all the kids. I know that's not the case. You know, I just do the best that I can do. And just pray that the next kid doesn't, you know, fall by the wayside.
How do you not become cynical? Do you harden your heart, or you just...
No, actually, I have to replenish myself, or I'm not gonna be any good to them or my own family. These kids are like precious cargo to me. Some have pretty tough lives. Some of them have the responsibility of a 30-something-year-old. They're holding down their homes and their only kids. No kid shouldn't have to go through that.
25 years down the road, what do you think Camden's gonna be like?
Wow. I'm praying that it turns into the Camden that I remember. And I know that I'm helping our future leaders to become a part of that change. I'm very hopeful, and there's no doubt in my mind that there is going to be a positive Camden. No doubt.
You're gonna stay?
I'm not going anywhere. My pop-up didn't leave. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, I know. Philadelphia is right over there, right across the Ben Franklin Bridge, the center of the cheesesteak universe. But what if it isn't? They're better than that. They're bigger than that. And the best cheesesteak in the area might well come from New Jersey. Donkeys, opened by Leon Lucas 71 years ago. A heavyweight contender in the 1928 Summer Olympics in boxing, he was known during his time in the cavalry as the Donkey.
They said he had a punch like the kick of a mule. So somebody gave him the handle Donkey, and he kept it.
His son Robert runs the joint now, and this is what they do here. Behold, the Jersey cheesesteak.
Pleasure to meet you.
So this is the place, the best cheesesteak in South Jersey, unless I'm mistaken?
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey, period.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between Jersey style and Philadelphia style?
Yeah, we do ours on a round, poppy seed, Kaiser roll.
Really? I'll have one of those. What's the way to go? I mean, anything I need to know, or just...
No, a regular, cheese and onions.
Beautiful thing.
I need one, Paulie.
It's round. It's got steak, spices, browned onions, real American cheese, such as it is, and a poppy seed roll.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
And it is sublime.
Relish, what do you think?
That's hot pepper, yeah, a little bit of that
A
won't
little
hurt.
bit. Oh, man, I drove a long way for this. Thinking about it the whole way.
Good.
Man, it just should be like a national landmark right away. This sandwich is unbelievably good.
Thanks.
Really a thing of beauty.
That's good to hear.
Worth driving across the state in a blizzard for.
Well, we get a lot of people from Philly.
No way. Philly?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, that's treason. Do they, like, change the plates on their car and, like, wear a disguise? I mean...
It's different. The poppy seeds help.
Yeah, no, I like this roll. It's awesome. That's delicious. Well, I think we learned something here today. Jersey cheesesteaks. I'm not saying they're better than Philadelphia. Yeah, I am, actually. So there. It's just great.
Glad you enjoyed it.
The forests and empty spaces of New Jersey are vast, and often empty of everything but legend. You live here if you like a quieter life, of not being messed with. 1.2 million acres of Atlantic cedar, swampland, forests. It goes on, seemingly at times forever. It's easy to get lost.
In the backwater marshy, where the cranberries grow.
When I was a kid, as we passed through the Pine Barrens on the way to the shore, we joked nervously about pinies, the strange, possibly inbred tribes of people who actually lived out there, somewhere between the trees. That was what we believed anyway. Paul Evans Peterson, jeweler, musician, author, and proud piney. We meet at the disconcertingly friendly Lucille's in Warren Grove for a delicious breakfast.
The legend of the Jersey Devil was Mother Leeds had 12 kids, found herself pregnant with the 13th, and say, may this child be a devil. There's many legends that are told about it, but that legend says that when the Jersey Devil was born, it morphed into this creature, flew up the chimney, and was gone into the night. Other legends say it killed everybody in the room. It's supposed to have the head of a horse, wings of a bat, hoofs, but you have people that say they've seen horns on it. It breathes fire. It's got a real long tail with a triangle on it.
I mean, it sounds like My Little Pony with a forked tail. It doesn't sound frightening to me.
It's supposed to have big red eyes, and some people say the head of a goat.
It's a big goat's a little scarier.
The folks that live in the Byron, they have a story they tell about that old Leeds woman and her child from hell. The night he's born, he took wings off and flew out into the night. Say you still hear him screaming when the conditions are right. Yeah, I swear it's true. These Pine Barren Blues.
What's out there? Who are pinies? Do they roam the forest at night searching for souls to capture?
Nah, pinies are people that live in the Pine Barrens. There was a time years ago that if you would have called somebody like that a piney, you'd have got shot.
Really?
But now people embrace it. People like to be thought of as living off the land. They have bumper stickers now, you know, piney power.
Mm-hmm. How do you make your living?
It's good to farm blueberries and cranberries.
Right.
I mean, it's a lot of fishing, a lot of clamming. Hopefully the oystering is coming back in the Delaware Bay. The bay supported a lot of jobs.
The Pine Barrens have been settled for a long time.
Long time. Some of the first people that came here were the glass makers and saw this incredible sand that we have out here called sugar sand. Pure white, and it's perfect for making glass, to the point that it didn't have to be washed or processed in any other way. There was hundreds of glass works. They're just ruins now. Thank you. All right, thank you.
So it's not like the rest of Jersey here.
Oh, no. And I hope it stays like it. It's like a Jersey unto itself. But out here, like you saw, you had a long drive to get anywhere.
But that's good, by the way. That's really good.
Yeah, isn't it great?
You want to talk mythic, epic, storied, anthemic, that sort of thing? Welcome to Asbury Park, wellspring of American music of a certain kind. Home to Yes, the Boss, and the Jersey National Anthem, Born to Run. Springsteen, Bon Jovi, Little Steven. But before them, there was this man, Southside Johnny, who with his Asbury Jukes pretty much created the template for the Jersey sound. A place, and really it could have only been this place, that changed music and lyrics forever.
Asbury Park. It's had a reputation as being a happy hunting ground for musicians because what? A lot of bars?
A lot of bars. It just was a tradition of bands playing here, which is funny because the town was started not to have alcohol and not that kind of music. But after a while, the pressure just was too much for entertainment for people to come here, and it morphed into an R&B and rock and roll haven.
Most bars don't hire musicians. They don't hire bands. They're too much trouble.
Well, this is
You
the
can-
Jersey
you can-
Shore, though.
yeah.
I mean, the Jersey Shore means people want entertainment. It's not just hard drinking people. There's people here on vacation in the summer.
Atlantic City didn't have that reputation.
Well, we're not Atlantic City, we're Asbury Park.
As I always like to say, good is good forever. Great music, great songs, and a classic Jersey sandwich. And at Frank's, they honor that Jersey tradition of assertive layers of sliced ham, salami, pepperoni, provolone, with some tomato, onions, shredded lettuce. You got your roasted peppers in there, and most important, your oil and vinegar, which soaks into that soft, fresh-baked bread and marries it all together into a soggy, glorious delivery vehicle for deliciousness.
Here we go.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Oh, it's such a beautiful thing that they shred the lettuce and everything. You used to come here as a kid?
Yes, my father, he would order like a pastrami sandwich.
Yeah.
And I'd eat like a third of it, and he'd eat the rest of it. And then my brother would eat eggs and bacon, so we had to order what he liked. But he was a real trencherman. He could really eat.
Asbury Park, like its close cousin Atlantic City, with whom it had so much in common, suffered from much the same problems. 14 years ago, last time I came, it was a shell of itself. Dying, the beaches empty, a sad and forlorn place. Unlike Atlantic City, though, Asbury Park fought to fix itself to become again the kind of place that anybody would want to live in. They didn't look for a magic bullet like casino gambling. And to a great extent, they've succeeded by keeping alive what made Asbury Park special. They hung on to what was important. Like this place, where any overgrown child still wants to play.
Misspent youth. Thank God.
What? Tilt all? No way. That's delicate.
Come on, hit, baby, hit. Ah, man, these are tough.
This is important for children.
I think so.
You know, your first exposure to racy images of women are all set in some sort of 20s fetishistic alternate universe. Also, it teaches you shame.
And teaches you humility when you lose.
And exactly the limits of how much you can break the rules before it tilts.
You know, I think they should have tilt for all sorts of things.
I think so, too.
You step over the line in a bar talking to a young lady,
Tilt.
And that way you know you got to start again. I tilted it already. I barely touched it. What are they talking about?
That's what they all say.
Wait a minute. I got un god. See here, I got a nut. God! Let me play.
As I like to say, good is good forever. The Atlantic Ocean will always be magnificent. Looking at it, always a humbling, even educational experience. It teaches us that men come and go. But no matter how foolish or outsized their dreams, how badly they screw up, what we do here at the ocean's edge, the sea will outlast us. Will always draw us to her edges. When necessary, it will crush us.
I mean, look at the Taj. This is completely oblivious to everything going on around it.
Yeah.
And that has got to be the most butt-ugly building ever.
I noticed last night that some of the lights on the sign on the building are out.
Yeah, it's like Trupp.
So, something like that, yeah.
Or Tump.
Or Rump.
I mean, it's sort of perfect, actually. If you think of Trump as sort of carnival barker, his operations is designed to attract rubes and empty.
Yeah.
You've got sort of a perfect metaphor here.
Yeah.
I hate sweets, but I'm a sucker for nostalgia. You can't go back, I can't go back. Hell, I wouldn't even if I could. I sure don't want to ever have to be a teenager again. But those tastes and smells of childhood, they work still.
Now, you're telling me you were not a big saltwater taffy fan?
I just remember it was hard to chew.
You had braces, remember? So this was probably
It may have been
problematic.
before that. I don't know. I can't remember if I had braces at that point.
I don't like candy generally, but these have a mystical hold on me. Man, even the color of the wrapper has this weird, you know, like there should be weird music playing in the background. Molasses, I totally remember that. Getting a bunch of those. I don't know why certain flavors really resonate. The peanut, I know exactly what that tastes like. I remember the vanilla really powerfully. Like, I'm not even a vanilla guy really, I'm more of a chocolate guy.
I think I remember pink ones, so they must have had strawberry.
Wintergreen, I remember.
Licorice sounds good.
The peppermints. We keep these in the car.
You fry cookies and cream. Does it melt?
Oh, it's a lot of taffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this stuff isn't fattening, by the way. You eat as much as you want.
Is it gluten-free?
It's all natural.
That's what I thought.
Atlantic City will never die. Good is indeed good forever. And Atlantic City will be great again. Asbury Park, Camden, all of my home state. I'm convinced when the tide has come and washed all the greed heads away, we'll once again be magic. I hope I'm there to see it.
My great fear as a kid was a fear of failing. And that's Hawaiian, because I was born that way, because that's the expectation. You're Hawaiian, you're gonna be less. You're Hawaiian, you're gonna fail more. And so it's old, it's in you, it's part of your identity. But when I navigate a voyage, I know when the storm comes, and it's gonna take you to the bone. And if the storm keeps coming, you gotta stand up. It's just what you gotta do. And it's this zone where you learn to make fear your best friend. You hold it really close to you, and you open up that door to believing that you can make it.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, 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 sha-la-la-la-la.
Hawaii is America. As American as anything could possibly be. Yet it also never shed what was there before, and the layers and layers that have come since. It's a wonderful, tricky, conflicted, mutant hellbroth in what, for lack of a better word, you'd have to call paradise.
Nowhere's paradise. Paradises don't exist. Paradise is kind of in your head.
Wait a minute. You look at your window here, you look at those hills, those mountains, all that green, that blue sky, and gin clear sea. It sure looks like paradise to me.
This guy knows. He's been everywhere. He's Paul Theroux, novelist, essayist, and legendary traveler and travel writer. Of all the places he's been, all the places he's seen, he chose Hawaii to live. And he's lived here for 25 years.
Does it matter that it's America?
No, that's the big thing, that it is America. It has elements of the third world, the nicest elements of the third world, which is funky. There's this self-respect, there's pride, there's things that don't work at all. And then it's Main Street USA, where we are now. I mean, there's PTA meetings here. They get together and watch the Super Bowl. And it's the most Main Street USA, or as much as you will find.
Town is a neighborhood spot in Honolulu's Kamuke district. And as Hawaii is the only state in the union that allows dayboat fishermen to sell directly to restaurants, the pan-roasted mahi-mahi is pretty damn good.
It's not a particularly welcoming or friendly part of the world, contrary to the sort of the aloha myth.
No, that's right, that's right. But no island is. Nantucket isn't. The Isle of Wight isn't. Name an island. They want foreigners in Corsica. Sicily, they want foreigners there. No way, no way. Did anyone ever come to an island with a good intention? People.
No, never in the history of the world. Best case scenario, bring syphilis.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at the very least.
Captain Cook put his sailors ashore in Ni'ihau, which is just a little bit northwest of here. He was the first haole. And like Magellan, Hawaii killed its first tourist, and the Philippines killed their first tourist. But people who live on islands, who are born on islands, view anyone who comes ashore with suspicion.
Well, to go back to what defines a Hawaiian, maybe we should go back in our imaginations to, could have been 2,000 years ago. The Tahitians had this voyaging canoe. Way before any other culture on the planet was exploring the deep seas. Somehow gets here, someplace in the South Pacific, single most isolated archipelago on the planet. Fast forward to Captain Cook and his identification of native Hawaiians, you get a glimpse of these are very productive people. They were industrious, they were healthy, they were strong, they had time for the arts. That was a large population, more than half of what we have in Hawaii today, fully sustainable, because there was no other choice. So over time, the native Hawaiian population goes to 22,000. It's the same story. Introduced disease, inability to deal with it, people die. 1926, the public school system would outlaw language and the practice of culture in public schools. So the road to extinction is being well paved.
Between Captain Cook's arrival in 1778 and today, disease wiped out most of the population. Missionaries came, a booming sugar and pineapple plantation industry, an influx of immigrants from Japan, Okinawa, China, and the Philippines. There was the overthrow of Queen Liliuokalani and the U.S. takeover of the Hawaiian government. World War II, and finally, statehood. The geographical realities of being thousands of miles from, well, anywhere else has given Hawaii, to some degree, protection from the forces that eradicated so many other South Pacific cultures entirely. In fact, they've arguably been holding back the inevitable creep better than just about anyone. What Hawaii looks like today depends on which island you're standing on, and to some extent, the reputation of the locals. The Hawaiian Islands are not a monolith. Islands, that's plural, and we are talking 8 very different islands with very different identities. It's been over a century since the waves of immigrants began, and things got all mixed up in the best possible way. There's layers, and a simple question like, who is Hawaiian, gets you all kinds of answers. The neighborhood of Kalihi is a far cry from the Hawaii that most people know. And Ethel's has been a go-to of a very specific kind for the last 40 years.
It's a blue-collar town, you know. They all come here, breakfast, lunch, every day.
I'm joined by 2 local chefs. Mark Noguchi of Mission, known by some as the Gooch. He's second-generation Japanese. And Andrew Lay of The Pig and the Lady. He's first-generation Vietnamese American, or would that be Vietnamese Hawaiian? As you'll see, it gets complicated.
I actually cooked on the East Coast for 3 years, and people would always be like, "Oh, you're from Hawaii, you're Hawaiian," and I was like, "No, I'm a second-generation Japanese." No, but you're from Hawaii, it makes you Hawaiian, and it was like, no. And then what I realized is like, here in Hawaii, we identify ourselves ethnically versus geographically. Like, there's no way that he and I would call ourselves Hawaiian. We get our ass kicked by a Hawaiian.
How many generations does it take? I mean, who qualifies as Hawaiian in your view?
To me, a Hawaiian is a kanaka maoli, is a native of the land. It's in your blood, you're koko. You come from a lineage of native Hawaiian people.
Well, what's your feeling here?
I do feel like I'm Hawaiian in a sense, you know? That's like my place. But culturally, it's a different story.
Well, let me ask you this. You say you're not Hawaiian.
No.
What's your feeling about Spam?
I love
So you're Hawaiian?
I'm from Hawaii. I'm born and raised, gonna die 808.
The owners of Ethel's are a sort of typical Hawaiian mix. Okinawan Ryoko Ishii, a.k.a. Mom, mainland Japanese husband Yoichi, daughter Minaka, who I guess would be Japanese, Okinawan, American / Hawaiian, and son-in-law Robert, who is, of course, Mexican.
It's the pig feet.
Oh, nice. That's pretty. Oh, wow, look at that. That's the tripe.
That's the tripe. That's the tripe.
That looks good.
Spam and bitter melon.
Now we are talking. That's awesome.
I just call it local food, you know? But local food just like covers like a wide net. When I look at this table, again, I just see Hawaii. You know, you got Portuguese, Japanese, you got Okinawan, World War II, I don't know, some type of Korean, Japanese, Hawaiian, love child,
right?
Awesomeness.
The food is some bone-deep Hawaiian stuff, my friends, which is to say a delicious mashup of, well, look, take taco rice. It's a dish created in Okinawa to approximate Tex-Mex for homesick American GIs that was then appropriated in a post-ironic way by younger generations of Okinawans and Japanese and has now found its way back to Hawaii. Got that?
Going right in there.
Wow.
Identifying and seeing my best friends who are native Hawaiian helped me to realize the pride of being from Hawaii, understanding the Hawaiian culture, living it, but also being very proud of being Japanese.
There's still a movement to a sovereign.
There's a very strong,
sovereignty movement. So if fighting broke out in the streets, which side are you on?
I'm getting tear gas.
You're getting tear gas. You don't even have to think about that.
But you know what's funny? What I always joke about is like, if like Nation of Hawaii took it back, right, and ousted Uncle Sam, my whole thing, and it was like, no, Hawaii is for Native Hawaiians only now. I'm like, hey, everybody needs a cook. Like, I'm a cook. I have worth.
This is Nainoa Thompson. And in 1976, along with a number of similarly heroic Hawaiians, he did a very difficult, very important thing. Before 1972, it was generally assumed, even insisted upon, that Hawaii had been settled originally by some random savages who'd maybe drifted over accidentally from South America. It certainly couldn't have been ancient Polynesians. They couldn't possibly have been the kind of sophisticated navigators who could guide a sailboat willfully across the Pacific, across thousands of miles of open water.
Nobody could see the canoe here. Too beaten, knocked out of you, no dreams, no hope, can't see.
The Polynesian Voyaging Society, with the help of crew members like Nainoa Thompson, set out to prove that that was exactly what did happen.
There were those in the community that loved this canoe, prayed for it, and there was those that feared this canoe because they sensed change. You have a 62-foot, 12-ton voyaging canoe. I mean, it was powerful. It changed everything.
The Hokulea, a double-hulled sailing canoe, a replica of the kind of craft believed to have been used in those times, and using only primitive, contemporaneous navigational tools, sailed 5,500 miles to Tahiti and back. A trip that helped spark a Hawaiian renaissance, a rebirth of pride and interest in traditional Hawaiian culture and identity.
The success was monumental. It changed worldview. That our ancestors were powerful, they were extraordinarily intelligent, they were courageous, and they were skilled. And so we come from them.
Thompson is a legendary waterman, and he's continued to sail on Hokulea's missions. Native Hawaiian, his roots in this valley go back 200 years.
My grandfather was born here. So I grew up milking cows here with my grandfather.
He spent many years learning traditional Polynesian navigation techniques from a master, Mau Pailog, of the small Micronesian island of Sarawal.
This is a man that was chosen by his grandfather. At 1 year old, he was put into Taipo to be trained in learning the wind and the water. And at 5 years old, he was sailing with his grandfather. And then he would never say that as some sense of abuse, but only love. He says, yeah, when the wave make the canoe move, the canoe make me sick. My grandfather threw me in the ocean so I can go inside the wave. And when I go inside the wave, I become the wave. And when I become the wave, now I'm navigator at 5. So when I approached him, he just said to me, you're too old. You want someone to know everything, send your son to my island. But he said, I'll teach you enough to find the island you seek, but I can't teach you the magic.
Why do you think it was important to do such a difficult thing?
I mean, it's the same story that you're going to see in...
Well, everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. In terms of indigenous people. My father's mother, nearly pure Hawaiian, chooses not to teach her children language or culture or genealogy. Where do you come from? Who's your family? What's your link? And that could have been 100 generations. What the voyage did was a reconnection back to feeling wholesome about who you are, because knowing where you come from and who are your ancestors. So Hokulea, when it got to Tahiti, it was their canoe. This wasn't our canoe, it was theirs.
Right.
And so that it started to ignite this flame, again, symbolic, a bumper sticker, a T-shirt starts to emerge. I'm proud to be Hawaiian. 1987, it becomes the first language. It's mandatory in the schools. Hawaiian culture has to be taught in public schools. Private schools will not have attendance if you don't teach Hawaiian.
Right.
Now, it's Hawaiian identity is into everything. It has to be recognized in everything. You're gonna go to Molokai.
Yeah.
That community is powerful.
When I mentioned to people, locals in Oahu, in Maui, other Hawaiian residents, that I was going to Molokai, the response was almost always surprise. Molokai did not have a reputation for being welcoming, that it was dangerous to go over there, that those Molokai dudes were mean, inward-looking, unfriendly, tough as iron, and quick to get pissed off. As it turned out, that was not my experience.
So we like to brag about what we don't have. We don't have traffic lights. We don't have a building over 3 stories. We don't have traffic.
Nice.
Walter Naki is a skilled fisherman, and today we're headed out for some octopus.
You know Molokai's nickname, right? It's called the Friendly Isle.
Yeah, but it's famously not the friendly island. It's supposed to be the most unfriendly island. I mean, that's what everybody says, right?
Depends which way you look at it. Traditionally, we're very, very friendly. Now, unfriendly is when you're going to try to come and fix it,
Right,
make it better,
right,
or try to take something.
right.
That's when we become unfriendly. The Molokai people have been protective of what their resources. So we have a lot of our natural resources still intact.
Still.
Yes, but then there's always other people that want to come.
Unsurprisingly, fishing rights is an issue around here. Don't come over here sport fishing the wrong place if you know what's good for you.
So Tony, this is basically where we're going to dive, this area. Nice sandy spot. Okay, ready? Go ahead, let go. Okay, we are here, man. When we get into the octopus, we're gonna coach him out of his hole. So when you stick the spear in there, you're gonna make him feel he's not safe no more. When he comes running out there, you wanna stick him with a spear.
Final step. Stun the struggling creature with a sharp blow from a mallet. Or if you want to go old school, bite him right in the brain. In my case, it took repeated crunching to locate the apparently chiclet-sized organ.
It's gonna come to you. Take your time.
This one died, eventually, as likely by exhaustion as anything else, I suspect.
Yo, hero today.
While the sailing canoe, the hokulea, was a powerful spark for the Hawaiian Renaissance, this was what really set things off. Beginning in 1941 and continuing into the 70s and beyond, the U.S. Navy had been using the beautiful neighboring island of Kaho'olawe as a bombing range. You could feel the shock waves as far away as Maui and Molokai.
I'm proud of my Hawaiian blood, and nobody gonna tell me any different.
People had never been happy about it, but emboldened by the times and by recent events, a group of young activists decided to take a stand. In 1976, there were a number of attempted occupations of the island in protest of the bombing. None more successful than Walter Riddy's. He and a fellow activist named Richard Sawyer set up on the island and refused to leave.
One day, we're gonna put one queen back over there.
Managing to evade pursuers for just over a month before finally being arrested and jailed.
And her first order is burn down this building and put up one halal, what belongs over here.
They emerged, of course, heroes. And these protests went on to inspire many others to join the movement.
I hope I'm still alive when that day happens, because I want to see our queen back in office.
And embodied the independent spirit, the desire for Hawaiian empowerment and sovereignty that today resonates across generations. Welcome to what is supposedly the most unwelcoming place in Hawaii.
Como my Anthony, come in, brother. Come into Kavanui. My name is Hano.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet
Thank
you. Please come inside.
Hello? Hi.
Aloha.
This is Keawanui Fish Pond, a shared community space with a sacred history. Hano Hano is the caretaker of the fish pond. He's a local community leader here on Molokai. Also here is the famous Walter Riddy.
Everybody knows how valuable all of this stuff is because we can see what happened to the rest of the islands.
So essentially an old school fish farm.
800 years old.
800 years old.
Modernizing one old idea. And an ancient idea is as simple as feeding your community. And this, the island you're on, this place could feed over 1 million people back in the day.
You hear the word again and again on Molokai. Aina, which means land and translates to that which feeds you. Springs, mountains, rivers. These lands, these fish ponds were managed by their ancestors as a sacred trust. Here where fresh water from the mountains and fast-moving ocean waters met. Early, sustainable, clean fish farms. Something in modern times we're still struggling to figure out.
Because you heard what people think about us. But the true story is that we have a place of abundance and we're trying to protect it. We're trying to protect all of these things that we've been able to protect for the last 30 years, and it's getting harder and harder.
Every single one of these Hawaiians over here get enough evidence that the state of Hawaii, the Department of Land and Natural Resources have done a terrible job. We're not even looking for blame. We're actually looking for an agreement that from today,
right,
we all gonna be pono. We're all gonna be righteous. We're all gonna be good. Our planet is in such bad shape that being environmental, being green is trending. And that's where the Hawaiians have always been.
So, who gets to be Hawaiian? This is the question. Who is Hawaiian?
Hawaiian is a nationality, bro. You could be Hawaiian.
Really?
They
Come
made
on.
they made us
Don't
say-
shit me now. Yeah, I have to be born here. This is come on. This is a different story.
I can give you the best explanation. Because you cannot be our blood. Our blood is Kanaka. You cannot be Kanaka. Hawaiian is our nationality, and you can pledge for be that. You see this what we're standing on? Our Aina. It matters so much that if you love this place and you don't want to develop it, destroy it, abuse it, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
If you eyeing this place and its resources as a money-making vehicle for yourself, we enemies, right? And it doesn't matter what race, religion, what sex you. If you love this place and you can malama our Aina the way we love it and our ancestors loved it, oh, we can be more than friends, but we can be family. I'm gonna aloha you. You know?
True law.
Beautifully played, man. Wow.
That's it.
Right on.
Right on, bro.
It's a pretty impressive spread of food for such a supposedly surly group. Slow-roasted pig, grilled calafish, mullet cooked lavalu style. And of course, octopus, known as squid luau. Fresh poi, you gotta have it fresh, believe me, makes all the difference in the world. Freshwater snails called, I believe, hihivai, harvested from streams way up in the mountains.
It's a bounty.
The bounty.
The bounty of our ocean and our mountain. It's a squid, octopus, the one you
Oh, that's octopus. Oh, hey, well,
You bit its eye.
Right there, right there.
I recognize you.
Wahine ilike I ka poli o Molokai no ka heke hey.
Anthony, when somebody steals this, it's easy for us to say, you're stealing our stuff, right? But all of this stuff is dependent on a healthy environment and ecosystem.
All right, but then let me ask you, just because I'm a bit of a dick, I have to ask this
No, I
question.
love it.
No, I have to ask.
Bring it on.
I have to ask. All right, so we have like 12 more beers, and I pull out some nice spam masubi.
I'm gonna eat them, right? Look at me, I'm gonna eat them. But that doesn't mean it's right, and that doesn't mean that's what I'm gonna feed my children. Our culture made everything we did the best of the best. Hawaiians are the only one that turned taro into poi. You know what I
Yes.
mean? We did everything to the best of the best. So if you're gonna introduce spam to us, we're gonna do them the best. You introduce Christianity to us, we're gonna do them the best. Whatever you introduce to us, we're gonna
Our
do them the best.
Christianity's better than yours. I love it. So you've really disappointed me. You in no way lived up to your reputation as mean, unwelcoming, inward-looking, hostile. Come on, admit it. It's a calculated strategy.
It is.
And I'll leave with a message. If you're watching this show, I hope your heart is swelling with admiration. But bottom line, don't come here.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Vahine ilikea ika poli o molokai no ka heke
The ocean is all around for thousands of miles. A humbling feeling, knowing at all times that the ground upon which you live and walk and breathe is but a tiny speck in the middle of all this. So in Hawaii, the waterman is an important distinction. It expresses the shared consensus that you are able to handle yourself in the ocean, no matter what it throws at you. It implies that you are capable of almost mythical things, the ability to live in the water, handle its many moods, above or below the surface. Meet Uncle Ross, waterman, a canoe surfing legend and generally accepted ambassador of the aloha spirit. He's offered to share with me a truly ancient Hawaiian space, found only on the face of a crashing wave. Surfing, a life connected to the ocean, and spending time with family and friends on the beach are some of the cornerstones of Hawaiian life.
Oh, this is our chef. This is Jason.
How are you, man?
And Tony, that's Keola.
Hey, how are you?
All right.
You good?
Yes, sir. Kalani.
How do you do? How are you?
Kiave.
What's going on? Hi.
Megan.
Hello.
Those are my two daughters. And this is my wife, Alicia.
Why, hello. Hi.
Brendan, come say hi.
Hey, Brendan. How are you?
And Milton. This is Milton.
Milton, good to meet you. So how does everybody know each other here?
We live on an island. Everybody knows everybody.
Okay, that's true. Why did I even ask?
It's just the way you roll.
I think I met Uncle Ross through the water. I mean, just surfing at Laniopoko, and then we became like family.
Daughter.
Yeah, he's like my dad, my ohana.
Each and every weekend, Uncle Ross can be found here with his ohana, a Hawaiian word that describes an extended circle of family and close friends.
Man, nice that we got lucky today. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day. Yeah.
Even when it's storming, it's nice on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll stay here until that thing goes down. Hits the horizon. When that sun hits the horizon, that's time to go home.
Maui is an island as beautiful as it gets. And sure, it's got its share of portion-controlled cruise line entertainments, doled out in digestible bites and complimentary Mai Tais. But you'll also find a sort of beloved indigenous institution like Tasty Crust, as local a place as you're likely to find. Daniel Ikika Ito will explain.
This
What are my
is a
options
menu
here?
situation, or I can order for you if you trust me. I think we're gonna hook you up with the local flavor. So
Okay, I trust you.
Raised on the Big Island, he's a journalist, the first native Hawaiian editor of a major surf publication and founder of the local Contrast magazine.
local culture is very much so trying to point a finger at anybody coming in and go, hey, you're a haole, you don't belong. And therein kind of lies a little conflict you have being a modern day Hawaiian. And I still think that's something that we forget about these days is how educated and how accepting our kupuna, our ancestors were. It was always built on inclusivity, aloha. Aloha is giving without expecting anything in return. You got this Hawaiian culture that was a product of the Polynesians that populated the islands. Then you got this local culture that's a product of the plantation lifestyle. So the Japanese, the Chinese, the Koreans, the Filipinos, the Portuguese.
If indeed all history can be explained by what's on your plate, this is a prime example. Behold, bitches, the plate lunch. The most identifiable and essential feature of the plate lunch is this: a big scoop or two of white rice and potato mac salad. There is nothing more Hawaiian. Served alongside a protein like chicken katsu, or this hamburger steak, a burger-like patty drowned in dark, sinister, sticky, shiny gravy. Or furikake ahi, seared ahi with nori and sesame seed.
Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Oh. All right, let's sit this right on top of the rice.
Yep, yep. You want to get some mac salad too on there too.
Gonna get that sinister gravy on. Oh, dude, look what we're eating. Okay, they may not be Hawaiian, but they are now. They are fundamentally local. I mean, this food, this most delicious, let's be honest, delicious. This is not healthy eating.
And we're kind of paying the price for it right now in the health of the state, which is terrible. As I take a bite of hamburger and
Yeah,
brown
but it's,
gravy.
like I said, it's just so good.
If you really want to do Hawaii right, you gotta give back. And that's a power that Hawaii and the Aina still has, is if you show aloha and you give without asking, the Aina is gonna recognize it and it's gonna shower its blessings upon you.
So, you think traditional Hawaiian culture and lifestyle has a chance against the modern world?
I think so. The beautiful part about my ancestors is they realized there was a limited number of resources where they lived, so they observed nature to the best possible they could to figure out what were the cycles and how do we preserve this resource. Hawaiian culture can teach the whole world something that it needs to know is we all live on an island and we are all part of the same community. Let's all show aloha to the Aina and let's show aloha to everybody else as well.
An extraordinary man lives in this house. Shep Gordon, longtime resident on Maui, legendary talent manager. Maybe you know some of the people whose careers he's looked after. Alice Cooper, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, Blondie, Pink Floyd. He was years ahead of the chef explosion, shepherding Emerald through his early career. He's produced films, worked alongside great French chefs like Roger Verger, become close to His Holiness the Dalai Lama, basically done everything with everybody in every place.
I first got here 40 years ago. I put one foot on the island. I knew I was living here the rest of my life.
You ever look out there and it's wallpaper?
Never, ever. I say it out loud every day. My first words in the morning are thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, every day.
Shep is famously one of the most generous and enthusiastic of hosts, a more stand-up, loyal guy you could barely imagine, and it's no wonder they called the documentary based on his life Supermensch. That's how he's known around the world. Here, he's known as that guy who throws great parties. Prep starts early. With Shep's friend Julio, a Maui-born and bred rancher, with help from local chef Sheldon Simeon. Middle of the night, and a traditional imu is dug, filled with lava rocks. The fire allowed to burn down to coals before the pig, wrapped in a combination of banana leaves and tea leaves, is dropped in.
Okay, you guys ready for the unveiling? Here we go. All right.
12 hours later, you dig them up and, well, it's party time.
So what you've been saying is you've been drinking steadily since 5 o'clock this morning.
It didn't come out of my mouth.
Okay.
Behold the magnificence.
Okay, take this side off.
It's a very important part of your childhood. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, look at that. You just lift those bones out by hand.
Yep.
Right?
Chef, you ready? Take the rock.
Oh, you just dump them into a bucket? Awesome. Wow. Wow, that's pretty much the way I want to end up. Just be able to pour me right into a pot.
There's lots to do, and everyone pitches in to help. It's an extended all-day affair of prepping, chopping, dicing, slicing, mixing. And of course, there's some sampling along the way, like this wild pig sausage that someone was nice enough to stop by with. Sheldon works up a potato mac salad.
Not gonna do it?
One more time.
Okay, hit you one more time.
Julio carves up some unicorn fish, which he caught himself earlier in the day. Chef Mark Tarbell stuffs a couple of fresh red snappers before throwing them in the oven. There's poi pounded fresh out back. And somewhere, pig's foot soup is happily bubbling away.
Here, try this chili pepper water. Chili pepper water. Wait a minute, why do I want to do this?
There's chili pepper water, used for dipping or taken as an auxiliary shot for regularity or boner medicine or whatever. Oh yeah, there's also Spam noodles. There is no party without Spam. By dinner time, the beer, wine, and festive beverages have been flowing for hours. Also, moods have been adjusted in a completely natural way, indigenous to the islands, of course.
How about Julio and the pigs?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I've cooked a lot of pigs. I ain't never seen one poured into a pot neatly.
That's what I love. This is what we do in the islands. That's what it's all about.
And always bring the ohana, bring the family, bring the kids. You know, you rarely ever see a party where there aren't kids.
Ohana means
family. Extended family.
Extended family.
Yeah, like you're now ohana to everybody here.
Yeah. Ohana means if you're gonna be a family, we can borrow money from you.
And as happens, I've come to find out, things end up in the most natural, just kind of happens way. Song and some dancing. This is Willie K, and that's his daughter, Lisette. And it's pretty damn captivating. It's getting near the end for me, and I look over at Shep and I see a happy man, surrounded by friends, by family really, his ohana.
To be Hawaiian, to me, it needs to be some kind of sense of connection to place and some sense of responsibility for it. It should be about being honest to place and being honest to what you love and be honest to what you value. Is a road that's constantly trying to be more and more informed. I don't even know sometimes how to be fully honest because I don't know enough. What I love about the oceans, that's my path. That I go on the oceans to seek that sense of truth.
They said I could see whales, like close up. And I had reasons for optimism. All week I'd been staring out to sea, watching humpback whales leaping out of the ocean, spouting and frolicking.
So are things compared to other parts of the world, our conservation efforts as far as marine mammals in general, but whales in particular, going well? Is this so?
That's the one thing on the planet that is. They're talking about taking humpbacks off the endangered species list, but it's good to hear that they've recovered, but then it may make it easy to add to the whaling list again.
It's mating season in Hawaii for the nearly 10,000 humpback whales that migrate down from southeast Alaska each year. Dr. Joe Mobley of the University of Hawaii has dedicated his career to studying these whales.
Yeah, I guess the song is supposed to be like the most complex
display in the animal kingdom. When you're close to a singer, you can actually feel it through your whole body. It's like 185 dB, really loud. Wow.
They don't mind us at all, do they?
We got it.
That was incredible.
Unbelievable.
There's no place else even remotely like it. Everything great and all the world's ills, all in one glorious, messed up, magical, maddening, magnificent city. Beirut. It's good to be back.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder.
The Mediterranean Sea itself trembles. The ground shakes beneath the wheels of our heavy metal thunder. Back in Beirut, after all these years. The first time I was here did not end well, but it made no difference to me. I love it here. In spite of everything, I love it here.
Nice ride. Woo. It's a good way to see Beirut.
This is very similar to that place we went to years ago, Baba. This is
Right.
Rizik. This is your, traditional chicken sandwich, shawarma.
Deep fried, roasted.
The broasted chicken was this guy's idea. My British Lebanese friend, born to be wild Ramsey Short, who I met back in those bad old days of 2006. Apparently, he's in with the Lebanese chapter of the Harley-Davidson Group, or HOG for short.
So when you roll into some religiously conservative village on these monster bikes and leather jackets, what's the reaction?
Two types. Once we were greeted with rice from the balconies, like they thought we were like a wedding or something really nice. And the other extreme was stones, like at the wheels, like just get out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't throw stones at people on Harleys. Oh, look at this.
Let's dig in.
And that'll work.
Yeah, this is a famous neighborhood of the city.
This area, it was central during the Civil War, this place.
The sheer volume of fire that was poured into some of these buildings is absolutely unbelievable.
So much fire and so many battles happened in the same place over
and over again. Clearly.
I notice this every time someone visiting the city, they just point at them.
I mean,
look at that. But, we don't see them anymore. We just pass by them.
Beirut, seemingly the world in miniature. 18 religious sects recognized. More than 2 million Christians, over 1.5 million Shiites, 1.5 million Sunni, nearly 500,000 Palestinians, and now, by some estimates, as many as 2 million Syrians, all living and somehow getting along, kind of, in a country the size of Connecticut. But along its borders, the country has what you might call serious neighbor issues. ISIS in Syria threatening to expand its so-called caliphate into Lebanon.
ISIS, in many ways, is something we've never really seen before. A really large, well-organized, well-equipped terrorist army.
Lebanon's been absorbing refugees for nearly 2 years now. The country simply can't take any more.
A quarter of Lebanon's population is now Syrian. That is the equivalent of the US taking in 83 million Syrians.
This could be spiraling, and as you said, the real fear is the violence across the border in Syria, the civil war now spilling over into its already fragile neighbor, Lebanon.
Struggles to put a lid on the simmering sectarian tensions.
Aftermath of that bombing in Beirut, as well as some of the clashes that took place.
Exchanges of gunfire between Sunni and Shia. 2 Palestinian brothers were shot.
Here, block by block, you see the scars from the 15-year civil war that only ended in the 90s. But also nightclubs, discos, beaches, bikinis, where much of the Arab world comes to let their hair down. It is an incongruous mix.
All of this is playing into people's fears. The violence is just beginning.
The Burj Al Barajneh neighborhood has long been the home to principally Palestinian refugees. But more recently, it's become a refuge for Syrians fleeing the barrel bombs of President Assad on one hand and the predations of ISIS on the other. The camps saw heavy fighting, shelling, and outright massacres during the religious conflict known as the Lebanese Civil War. Everywhere you see posters representing a full menu of political factions and affiliations, from Assad loyalists to the PLO to every flavor of extremist.
It's either a jihad of victory or martyrism.
Do you know of any other place in the region where all of these groups are coexisting within a confined space?
It is stunning to be walking down the street with high heel short skirts and vast amounts of red wine flowing, and then drive straight into an extraordinarily conservative, predominantly Shia district, you know, the Hezbollah district, which is effectively run by what the US calls a terrorist organization. It is kind of mind-blowing.
I am not a geopolitical expert, and as much time as I've spent in this part of the world, I've spent nowhere near the amount of time this guy has. Nick Peyton Walsh, CNN's senior international correspondent.
Most of the groups here are now more terrified of those sort of crazy Islamist radicals across the border in Syria than they ever have been of each other.
What would you call this neighborhood? What is it?
I mean, it's now one of the kind of very mixed refugee areas that Beirut has.
Close to 2 million people from Syria alone.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot to be absorbed by a tiny little nation of, what, 4.5 million?
It's just loads of people, far too many people with nowhere to go. You see it in how the cell phones don't sometimes work the way they should, how people have to ship water into their own homes. That's part of bad infrastructure, but it's also just the sheer demand on resources.
We'll follow you.
Okay. For the first time in the history. A Palestinian leads American. That's nice.
Don't let the neighbors know about that.
Yes.
In Syria, Mr. Najam was an English teacher. Needless to say, he had at one time a better life back there.
I came from Syria after the civil war started there.
Yeah.
We know Lebanon has many problems, sectarian problems, and we don't want to add more problems for those people. But what can we do? We live here in this camp. Imagine the situation here. It is unbearable.
He is married, by the way, and he has 3 kids. Look, in spite of his bones, he works, you know, in construction.
His family bought this wood in order to protect us from the rats.
Yes.
These children need medical operation, but this family can't pay for those operations because they are very expensive. They are waiting for Godot. They wait for nothing. They wait for the help of God.
Straining under the weight of all these unasked for guests, the Lebanese government has begun making it very difficult for them.
He doesn't work only because he doesn't have an official residence. So he can't leave the camp. Otherwise, he will be arrested, you know.
Being stopped at any of the city's ubiquitous military checkpoints could mean a one-way ticket back to Syria. Trapped, unable to work, they exist invisibly on the margins of society.
No photos here. This is a military area. You don't want to get involved in any problem.
Syrian food?
This is Syrian. It is called the 7 countries. It consists of many kinds of vegetables, 7 kinds of food. Palestinians in Syria, most of them are well-educated. Doctors, engineers, lawyers, teachers.
But here now it's the opposite, right?
Here in Lebanon, even if you were a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher, you can work only in the camp. We don't know how to go, where to go. To go back to Syria?
No can do.
To cross the sea?
Can't.
Suppose that the Lebanese authority collect us and throw us away to Syria. What is going to happen? We have no area in the world. We have no place in this universe. We belong to nowhere. Nowhere.
Välkomna till Libanon. Allah.
Once known as the Paris of the Middle East, Beirut still clings to its glamorous 1960s image. A chic tourist destination where you can famously ski and go to the beach all in the same day. Walking the Corniche, it's easy to forget, for a moment anyway, what's going on not far from here.
All the people who live here near the coast, they prefer to spend the Sunday outside their houses. And this is one of their traditional places. This is the way I live all my life.
Mo is a local security specialist on assignment to keep, well, me and my crew safe from harm. He lives with his daughter, Bushra, and his family in Ras Beirut, a mixed neighborhood of Christians, Muslims, and Druze.
Little oil in the middle, as I recall, yes?
Yes.
Oh, so good. Very good fish. I miss this country. I really did.
You have been here before?
This is my third time.
Whoa.
My first time was 2006.
Ooh.
We came here, we had 2 perfect days, and then the war broke out.
During my first trip here in 2006, Hezbollah guerrillas killed 3 Israeli soldiers and captured 2 others in a cross-border raid. In the 34-day war that followed, much of Beirut was heavily pounded by bombs and naval artillery.
But I fell in love with this city. Under the worst possible situation, you have this really extraordinary mix of religions and people. How is that? Why? What's so special about it? Why?
Of course, somebody on Friday go to pray, somebody on Sunday go to pray. But they go to the same restaurant, have the same food, have the same drink. They have the same tradition.
There's no place better than Lebanon. You have everything. People are friendly, beautiful, fantastic.
It is a democracy here.
Of course. You have choice to sit down and talk. I like this, I don't like this.
So, what's it look like now?
Yani, we look like we are 2 months before 2006.
Oh, wow, that's not good.
Tension is a little bit high, but the people, they are very happy. We are very happy. I go with my family outside.
I mean, I was watching the news last night at the hotel. It is genuinely terrifying.
This is Lebanon. It's raining today, tomorrow is sunny. It's happening all the time. We get used to it.
You get used to it. Are you concerned or optimistic?
No, I'm optimistic, yeah.
Do your friends feel the same way?
Not really, not all.
Your friends are less optimistic.
Yeah.
We have only one good neighbor. It don't affect us.
Yeah.
It helps us all the time. It's the sea. We bring the fish and we have fish. And he never get upset from us.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So when the gates break down, and the solid sound
back.
We're here.
Booyakasha, we are back in his house.
Oh, you're here too?
Yeah, this is Radio Beirut.
Is that? Why, yes. Yes, I think it is. Ironic glasses, vintage clothing, and neck beards. It appears the Brooklyn strain has spread even to Beirut.
Radio Beirut, live and direct.
It is, with CNN and everything. CNN has become the most trusted name in use. Same way a broken clock is trusted to be right twice a day.
CNN changed their slogan from, "This is CNN," to at least, "It's not Fox News."
Yes, sir.
How is it possible, this mix of religions, of cultures?
You know, geographically, how it is, Beirut's so tiny. You got mountains, you got the sea. We're surrounded, and then there's so many factions that you have to deal with everybody.
I'm going turkey ham in this bitch. That's halal, it's a gift. Now pass me the letter, stack up until I sandwich the shit. Now where is the bread? Where is the chibbas? Where's 80% dipping in hummus while a small percentage get to eat zit? Where is the oil? Where is the wealth? Syrian folks, they easy and chill. They need that not know, just needed some help. Give them the choice.
Syrian Filipino rapper Chino.
Monday is hip-hop in Radio Beirut. And Radio Beirut is like a really awesome place where there's live bands playing all week long.
We created a platform for MCs to try their skills in front of people without the prejudice, without the judgments, and although we do judge, we do make fun of them.
Green fields and dream fields like Copperfield, then I'm making magic like my name was Copperfield.
Lebanese freestyle legend Hussein, aka Double A, the preacher man.
You were arrested? Is this correct?
Yeah. That's normal. That's not the first time it happened.
For what?
Basically, I was profiled. Like, if there's an explosion, oh, the big dude with the beard was bald. That's him.
Right.
It's him. He did it. We're 100% sure.
These are beard-related issues.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's talk about hip-hop.
That's the glue that binds us.
What is it about hip-hop?
I see it like this. I mean, a lot of people do mawels. In Arabic, it's called a mawel, in which it's a traditional rhyming scheme in which they speak about their problems, about their beefs. It's in our core to be we are poets.
We come from like a background where you have governments that are dictators. We can't really voice anything.
These politicians can't believe them because they're getting led on to the slaughter while this monster's trying to keep the lid on. Pressure makes it squeal, but it blows the lid off. And we're raw, we're raw, we're raw.
We're trying to find our own identity. We don't want to be like our ancestors who always fighting each other. Like, he's Christian, he's Shia, I'm Syrian Sunni. That's nothing, you know. We don't even mention that when we're on stage.
So I'm on my own now. The hell with the world. The universe is my home now. Check it.
Afternoon in Beirut, and the Hafez family, like many others across the city, prepares dinner.
Extraordinary spread of food.
Yeah.
Chicken burger.
All this food, you see. And my son, he's crying because he wants to go to Burger King. He wants some chicken burger from Burger King.
Well, thank you so much for having me in your home.
This is spicy potato. We call it batata harra. Deep fried potato with red pepper, green chili, coriander, garlic, and lemon juice. And this is kibbi nai, which is raw meat, lamb, fresh mint, spring onion. Mix it all together. And this is as a main course. It's called musakka. Minced meat, baked aubergine, green and red pepper, and chickpeas, and tomato paste. Please help yourself.
Thank you. I was in Beirut in 2006. This neighborhood was hit very hard.
Yeah.
Were you here at that time?
Yeah. It was a disaster.
Why this neighborhood?
Because the people in this area, 99% they support Hezbollah.
As Israel buries its dead from a surprise Hezbollah missile strike and the radical Shia group celebrates a victory, the rhetoric on both sides is at a fever pitch right now.
It is the deadliest Hezbollah attack against Israeli forces since the two sides went to war in 2006.
Hezbollah means the Party of God. They are a Shia military political organization lavishly supported by Iran. The party is more powerful, more effective on the ground than the Lebanese army. The United States officially designates them a terrorist organization. In 1983, they did this, the U.S. Embassy bombing. And this, the Marine barracks at Beirut's airport. 299 United States and French servicemen were killed.
All these people, they are Hezbollah. Please put it down now.
They are dangerous, they are well-funded, and whatever else they may be, they are not stupid.
In 2006, I have two sisters, they lost them home. Hezbollah take care of them. Here in Dahi, everybody support Hezbollah, even the people who they are not religious, for one reason, because they feel protected by them.
My host's support for Hezbollah, typical of the Dahiya neighborhood in South Beirut, is staunch.
Before Hezbollah, Lebanese people, they were always scared of Israel. Now when you say Israel, you say, oh, we don't care.
In the early days, Hezbollah used tactics that just about anyone would call terrorism. When is it permissible, morally, to use a car bomb or using civilian targets?
For me?
For you?
I'm against killing. Against killing anybody, even Israel. This person who I'm gonna kill in car bomb or whatever, doesn't he has family?
What's the most important thing happening in the world today that needs to be resolved for things to be better?
ISIS.
ISIS is number one.
Number one. They killed hundreds and thousands of Shia. They are devils. They are against everything, like everything on the earth they are against.
Recently, Hezbollah has become heavily involved in the war in Syria, in defense of the Assad regime. Complicating matters, and uncomfortably enough, they are probably the best organized, best equipped, most serious obstacle to ISIS and Al-Qaeda in the area.
Most of the villages in the east of Lebanon, they are Christian and they are Sunni.
Right.
If Hezbollah wasn't there, it was no more Christian in that area. This is the only reason the gun, this is the only reason for, just to protect my children and my wife.
20 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
Will things be better?
Hope so. Hope not 20 years and 30 years. Hope now, next year, things goes better. I hate war.
Hier quand je t'ai croisé, que ça n'irait pas entre toi et moi, c'était juste une question de temps.
The last two times I've been here, there's just this never-ending building boom. Nobody seems to be moving in, but the buildings are going up.
Yeah.
Who's buying these apartments? Who are they for?
Two kinds of people. Lebanese who are living abroad, or Arabs, especially from the Gulf region.
Right. For whom Beirut is a relatively liberal wonderland of permissiveness compared to Riyadh, for instance.
Compared to Riyadh, yes, but unfortunately, we cannot generalize this and say that Beirut is a place where sexual expression is encouraged.
Her books are banned in many countries in the region. She's regularly threatened with rape, stoning, and murder. She is Jumana Haddad, culture editor of Lebanon's biggest newspaper, An-Nahar.
Yesterday, I had my first web TV show about sexual freedom, and you cannot imagine how many hell's doors have opened just because I dared say that girls are allowed free sexuality just like boys. And we pretend to be a democracy. This is kafta.
Kafta.
Yeah, with yogurt sauce and cranberries. It's
Then
yummy.
a fried
Kibbe.
stuffed grape leaves.
Yes. Tabbouleh,
Tabbouleh?
the famous tabbouleh.
The fact that Lebanon, that Beirut in particular, works at all. All these religious groups and different interests. I mean, this is a fully functioning, more or less, by world standards.
Fully functioning.
Yeah, this is a...
We don't have a president. It's been almost, it's gonna be a year now that we're without
That's sort of awesome.
Don't you think that the main reason behind you seeing this as a thrilling, exciting place to live in is that you're a visitor and not someone who actually lives here?
Am I wrong to love this place?
You're not wrong to love it. I love living on the tip of a volcano, but there has to be some point where I could breathe and relax. I don't want to seem like I'm only criticizing, because I really also, as much as I hate this place, I love it as well. And I know that it's also very precious to have such a kind of freedom in a place in the Arab world like Beirut. I don't need to tell you about the Islamic State. Even though they're not inside Beirut, yet we can feel the threat. We can feel it every day.
Should people come here?
Yes, definitely, they should come. They will enjoy it as much as you have. I wouldn't advise them to stay more than a month, though.
I often go to the Danieli in Venice, and I ask them there to call me Your Highness. I love that. That's my trip. So I go there and I am dressed like an emperor. I'm not today, but sometimes I dress like an emperor.
There have been 2 attempts on your life, yes?
Yes.
That you're aware of.
2 attempts. In Arabic, we say telte septe. It means the third one succeeds. So I don't know when the third one will be.
A young militant, an activist, a labor organizer. You have been arrested in your life.
Yes, many times. When I was 14 years old, for example, I became a communist in a region that was under control of the extreme right-wing militia. I ended up in a torture room that I recreated here just behind you.
Later, after joining and then leaving the Lebanese army, Michel Eleftiriadis formed the MUR, an armed revolutionary group.
And yet here you are, your life now is music and culture.
I think that I was made to be a musician, but when war happened in Lebanon, I took a gun. I understood that I cannot face someone who's attacking my house with a guitar.
In 2003, by now a music producer, entrepreneur, politician, artist, author, and filmmaker, he founded the Beirut Music Hall in a bullet-pocked theater empty since the Civil War. This is his kingdom.
Some people come because it's trendy. They come with their sexy ladies. Some come because they like to discover new things. You have per night up to 15 acts, each act coming from a different culture.
Who needs culture?
I think that culture can save the world. ISIS, those criminals who are not very far from Lebanon, someone who read interesting books, someone who listened to beautiful music cannot become an animal again.
If you were the emperor of the world, hypothetically.
Hopefully.
What will Beirut be like in 10 years?
Best case scenario, it goes back to before the creation of Israel, when all communities were living very well. The Jews will be back. We are in the Jewish neighborhood here. I think that we have to all to be united to fight this monster, ISIS. Once the monster is defeated, you can start arguing again about other things.
Hello.
How do you know? I'm Tony.
I'm Rawan. Hi, nice
Thank
to
you for
meet
doing this. This feels very formal, but
Yeah.
it's not. So please relax.
I am relaxed.
Okay, good.
Can I get my beer?
By all means, yes, please.
Lots of people come here. They're mostly musicians and artistic people. Lots of jamming happens here. It's like more of a family hanging out.
This cafe is a typical Beirut establishment with a clientele from Lebanon, from Syria, and any number of other countries. The owners are both Lebanese and Syrian and acutely aware of the tricky political realities with which they must live. They were concerned about us filming here and wanted us to understand clearly that the cafe has no political affiliation and that the opinions of this young lady, Rawan, are not that of the cafe or necessarily even the clientele.
You're born and bred Syria.
I was born and brought up in Syria, Damascus. One night, 3 a.m., the army entered our house and I found them in my bedroom looking for the Free Syrian Army. My dad knew he couldn't protect us because he was old. 3 hours later, we decided to leave. So we came to Beirut.
Oh, thank you.
We always eat here. Grape leaves is my favorite food.
I saw you went for that first.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it is. We come here a lot and we talk a lot about Syria. We talk about our visa issues most of the time. Actually, now I have 4 months left and I really have no idea what am I going to do.
What do you think? Will they renew your visa?
So far, I don't think so.
Do they arrest you? Do they take you to the border and kick you over the other side? How does that?
Send you back to Syria.
What happens if you go back to Syria?
Most probably die on the way, or to some people get arrested or be taken to the army.
How different is Damascus from Beirut?
Oh, it's really, really different. In Damascus, I was always afraid of the government. Some people died because they cursed the president. I left Syria and I found hope here and I screamed in the streets, cursing all politicians and everything. It's all right. Nobody's gonna come and arrest you. I really love this place with all my heart.
Is all of the chaos and the violence worth it for change? Is that worth dying for? I mean, there was order when you grew up. There was order.
Yes.
No freedom, but order. Would you go back to that?
I don't think that there is anything worthy in the world of a human blood. There is nothing more important than a human being.
You'd never be able to yell out loud. You'd never be able to do the things you're doing now. You'd go back.
I was alive.
You were alive.
Lots of people were alive as well.
One day, after a shocking daylight bombing in Lebanon, we're seeing widespread anger and finger-pointing.
This blast has set off a tide of civil unrest in Lebanon.
Damage has been done. Flame keeps circling.
to see you. How you been?
I've been all right. I've been well.
Where better for capitalist imperialist pig dogs like Ramsey and myself to spend a last evening in Beirut than Abu Eli?
It was opened by a guy called Naya. He was an atheist member of the Lebanese Communist Party.
A communist-themed bar located in a housing block.
What is this?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. It's been put in front of us.
Well, we should probably drink it.
Yeah,
Figure
let's
out.
do it. Why not?
Vodka.
Vodka.
You know, I actually had somebody who lives here tell me, oh, yeah, the place is great. Just don't stay here for longer than a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Oh, yeah, you're trying to kill us, man.
And
who is this man? He's trying to hurt us.
Cheers.
After more than a few indigenous beverages...
Oh, arak? No, now we're talking. Cheers.
Cheers.
Enter Ernesto.
How's it going? Hey, Tony. Yeah, I got something for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Cuban cigar.
In the words of Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, let's get the party started. Or was that Rick James?
Ernesto is the son of the owner of this bar.
I know.
This is my mom. She made some shanklish here.
Oh.
Shanklish is the cheese.
It's kind of rotten cheese.
There we go.
Cheers. I called my dad.
Yeah.
I told him there's a guy called Tony, CNN. He said, I don't watch CNN. And then I told him, but he's a cool guy. He wants to make the best food for you.
This is some of the best kibbeneh in Beirut.
Lamb?
And spices.
Oh, man, that's good. Hypothetical question. ISIS are coming now. Are we picking up a gun or not?
I pick a gun.
Yeah, we will fight these people.
No, I'm not drinking.
No, we have to have it.
Nick Knapsack.
Yeah, Nick something.
I seem to remember Mom at one point whipping out some kind of automatic weapon.
All right, here you go, big boy.
I will take this up in arms and I will fight.
Let me tell you how we fight.
And then the mirror ball descended from the ceiling, Bootsy Collins came on over the sound system, and the rest is a fog.
Let's first have a cheers.
Oh, come on, give me a big hug. This is a country with the worst neighbor problems in the world. It's amazing that it persists.
I've been around and I've seen places. This place, it works fine.
I think so too.
Cheers to Tony, man.
Beirut. Everybody should come here. Everyone should see how complicated, how deeply troubled, and yet at the same time, beautiful and awesome the world can be. Everyone should experience, even as the clouds gather, what's at stake, what could be lost, what's still here, and never let that hope go. Beirut. There is no place like it.
Thank you.